Yo, what up, guys? Data Great here today, back with another video. Congratulations, you've been blessed. Now, today's video is going to be about a theory that I have about the imagination power that has recently cropped up in SAO and what it could potentially mean not only for Kirito, but also the characters that live within the world that he's at now. Yu-Gi-Oh, Alice, all of them. And so, without further ado, let's jump into the video.
Word to my mama, I promise I gotta go get it. Hop in my whipping and be on my way. Now I'm copping a ticket to Cali. My mission to Valley, the babes in the lake till I finally come back to my...
Now, for those of you that just didn't up and skip the parts where Asuna stuck on the ship that Wrath is working on to create this whole new idea of soul analysis and control or whatever, like, this plays a big part into the theory and why I think it's true. Because in one of those episodes, I think it was episode 4, I believe, they showed what happened to the infant souls that they copied using their technology. Like, they can't accept the fact that they're copies of someone else, or they can't accept the fact that, you know, that they're just not really real, and it causes them to break down. And that's the whole reason why the project is messing up the way it is. And so I feel like when it comes to this, it's easy to see why the imagination thing will eventually play a key role, because it's not simply just about imagination, it's more so about belief. And just like how the former first seat used his belief to make his sword strike stronger, I think that if the infant souls that were raised within that world, if they can actually harness their belief to the point where it's like, no matter what anybody says, no matter if people think I'm real or not real, I'll still continue to exist. Like, if they truly believe that within themselves, I feel like the project that Wrath is working on will finally, be achieved. And the ultimate goal behind Wrath doing all of this anyway is to have soldiers that can fight and actually kill each other through this like virtual world thing. And they need for the characters that's in the world to break the taboo index for that to even happen. And to do that, they'll actually have to have the imagination power. This is just my theory. Like, I think they'll have to have the imagination power, and it has to be strong enough to the point where they wouldn't give a fuck about none of what the taboo index says if it means that they can achieve whatever it is they're trying to achieve. And the reason why I think that this will wind up being the case is because, for one, we already had somebody break the taboo index, even though it was kind of sort of by accident. Like, she didn't really mean to fall into it, but nevertheless, it still happened. She still was one of the ones that did it, and that was amazing to them. They wanted to see more characters do that, and I think that's also the reason why Kirito has been introduced to the world in the first place, because he's going to be like a true variable of what it means to not really give a fuck about these preset rules or conditions that the world has made all of these people that grew up there believe that actually exist, And I feel like when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh and Alice, like, Kirito is going to play a main role in getting them to break those rules and finally have a true consciousness to the point where even if somebody told them that the world around them isn't really real or it doesn't exist, they will still believe in their existence, and they'll still believe in Kirito and each other. And honestly, I feel like this is like a huge step up. Like, if everything goes the way I'm thinking it is, it's like a huge step up, because I think when it comes to SAO, the ultimate goal was always to eventually make it possible to be inside a virtual world forever without like any consequences, or make the world around them virtual, or some semblance, some shape or form of that like nature. And this soul translation stuff is like the closest thing that they've gotten to doing that. Like, they're trying to make true AI with like actual feeling souls and like, complications and shit like that. And like, the way that they're trying to achieve it is kind of smart. But yeah, I think that when it comes to this imagination power, even when it comes to the sacred art stuff, I feel like that and imagination power go hand in hand. And I feel like all of it is just the end all be all to finally make the characters that were born in that world live of their own free will and have the ability to pick and choose which laws they break, just like normal human beings. Like, because in this day and age, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that have broke the law in some shape or form. I don't think there's a single person that hasn't broken the law in the slightest. And that's what kind of makes us humans. None of us are perfect. And so I feel like the goal for Wrath is the same. They want them to be perfect, but not perfect at the same time. They want them to be able to choose and decide what rules they break and how they break them. And the end goal is to use them for military use. And you can't do that if they're afraid to break the rules. So that's pretty much my theory when it comes to this whole thing. I think the imagination power will pretty much force Yu-Gi-Oh and Alice to become like true people, like true AIs. Kind of how it kind of seems like Yui, like Kirito's daughter, quote unquote, is kind of one of those, but she's not really like them. Like she was never a real thing to begin with. Like Yu-Gi-Oh, Alice, they were actually imprinted from infant souls, so they're kind of more real than her, but not as willing to break rules and stuff. So I feel like that's what's gonna happen with this whole thing. But anyways, that's my theory, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think I could be right about this? I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm right about this, but we'll find out soon enough. But that's all I gotta say for the video today, guys. Thanks for watching. If you stuck around this long, if you like the content, subscribe for more, all that jazz. Without further ado, peace.